Hey everybody, it's Weeglez here. So today there was a Walking Dead the final season. Reddit asked me anything with Skybounds CEO Ian Howe and Kent Muddle. They were answering several people's questions, and as of now, most of the questions have been answered, and I want to inform you all of what has been asked and answered. Alright, starting off, we have actually somewhat of a release. Now it's not an actual date or anything, all of more of a guess and a hope on their part. They're hoping for episode 3 to come out this year, and episode 4 probably next year, early of next year, so maybe January, February, maybe at latest. Now, they don't say anything about episode 4, exactly not yet. That's just my personal guess there. Alright, so they're talking about it coming out then, so it is going to be a bit of a wait. But the screenshot in here, I'll read you exactly the question that was asked. So, they asked, what exactly should we expect for a slight delay for episodes 3 and 4 for the final season? Ian responds, so I would guess this is everyone's #1 question. I can't give you a definite answer at the moment. What I can say is that the team is not currently working on the game, and until we're back into production, it's going to be nearly impossible to give an accurate answer. What I can say is that we will announce new dates as soon as we know what they are. There is no reason for us to hold back that information, so it will be public immediately, that we can talk about it with confidence. He then asked him again, do you think that you will be able to finish at least episode 3 this year? He then responds, okay, given that you guys have been so supportive and patient, I'm going out on a limb and will say yes. I fully expect episode 3 to be this year, and I will be very disappointed if we can't make that happen. Alright, so now my takeaway on this is, I know some people may be upset about it being longer, but it's not getting rushed and it's getting finished. You know, Skybound did not have to save it, so in my personal opinion, I'm happy. The longer, I guess, the better it's going to be. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? Let me know. Let's get into the second screenshot. Alright, so here we got more insight on Lewis and Violet and what their roles are going to be in episode 3 and 4. So the question was just, was Lewis and Violet, are they going to have a big role in episode 3 and 4? Their response was, so Lewis versus Violet, choices are always to some degree about their priorities. Violet is more concerned about getting shit done and being prepared, and Lewis is more concerned with enjoying himself. Anytime you choose Lewis over Violet, you are ignoring the more immediate survivalist option. This is on purpose. Lewis might be a bit of a slacker, but he's not an idiot. And when it matters, he's still dependable, but he values living when he has the chance. What does the player value more, staying alive or feeling alive? That's Violet versus Lewis, and both are correct. And both bear different but equally good wins in the end. Also, yes, we learn more about Lewis and Violet in episode 4 and 3. Alright, so I think they're insinuating there's going to be flashbacks of, you know, if you either romance Lewis, it'll show you like how they got there to that position, or, you know what I mean, like how they got to that school and in what, and learning more about them to make the connection that you have with them a lot stronger in the future episodes. So yeah, I can't wait to see that. Let me know in the comments who you guys chose. Was it Lewis or Violet? Let me know why. Personally, I chose Violet. I just don't think Lewis is dependable, like Kent said in this post. But yeah, let me know, and let's get to the next one. So screenshot number 3 has something to do with other relationships in the game. So somebody asked, the campfire scene in episode 2 made a strong impression on a lot of players, and we had all loved to see more interaction between Clem and James. They're absolutely adorable together. Thanks again and best of luck with the game. Alright, so Ian responds, from the editorial team at Skybound, Violet and Lewis are the only planned romances. That's a lot of choice for your first time dating. So people were shipping Clem with James, which is, people always do that, right? So anyway, so it's something that people have been wanting, and I didn't really think it was gonna happen. I just didn't really seem possible, but that's what people wanted. Anyways, this kind of confirms that it will not happen. Violet and Lewis are the only planned ones, which I do like. I feel like if you add in a third and fourth and you start adding in so many people, it just really makes the game not the game. So I kind of like this. Yeah, so that's just a small one. Let's get into the next one. So right here we're getting insight on whether Skybound wants to continue The Wolf Among Us. Season 2 or Game of Thrones. This guy right here asked, so let me read it to you. Hello there, thanks again for succeeding at setting a deal, at least to finish the final season. Words cannot express how thankful I am. So with the future of The Walking Dead looking bright enough, is there any chance for other Telltale titles such as The Wolf Among Us Season 2 and Game of Thrones Season 2 to be saved by Skybound Games 2? I understand that it sounds legally difficult, but if the last episodes of the final season go well, why stop there? The release of these games would make the loss of Telltale a bit more bearable. Thank you again for your time in doing this. Ian responds, our 100% priority is The Walking Dead. I'm honestly not looking past that at the moment. I think it's unlikely to happen, but never say never. So I don't think The Wolf Among Us and Game of Thrones Season 2 will ever happen. Not under Skybound at least. It's just not worth it for them. There's a reason why Telltale shut down. They just were not making any money. And Skybound won't be able to make it any money either. So I would prefer them not to continue with those. The Wolf Among Us was good though, don't get me wrong on that, so was Game of Thrones. I just feel like it's just a waste of money at a thing. I hope they continue with Walking Dead games though, as Skybound is owned by Robert Kirkman, or he has something to do with it, so I believe that's why Skybound is going to finish this game, so it doesn't give The Walking Dead a bad name. So I think that's why they're finishing The Walking Dead. What do you guys think? You guys agree maybe they should go with The Wolf Among Us Season 2 and Game of Thrones and try to save it? Or do you guys think they should just stick with The Walking Dead and see how that goes? Let's get into the next one, though. So another question that was asked by somebody else, which I did chime in on, and I did get a response for myself. The question was, will we be seeing the Garcias or any further references to them this season? Kent then responded, there may be references, but as I've said in previous interviews, the Garcias do not appear in the final season. I then asked, my only question is, will we ever at least possibly figure out why she never goes back to Richmond, since the New Frontier ending option had bring AJ back or leave him be? He responded, we have a reason why Clem doesn't go back to Richmond. I also thanked him for the reply. So what this means is that Javier and the rest of the Garcia family will not be back in the game. I knew that to start off with. I knew they weren't going to come back. I was hoping to see maybe a flashback to determine if they died or if they got into a fight or something happened. Now we know 100% now that Garcias will not be back ever, at least not in this season. Maybe if they make other games on in the future, that is something else they've talked about. I'll show that in a future one coming up here. So we do know that there is going to be a reason why she doesn't go back to Richmond, so we are going to know that and why. So maybe Javi did die or something happened at McCarroll Ranch. Maybe it was a setup. I don't know. All we can do is wait and find out, but I think that's pretty cool, and I'm actually happy I got that response. Let's get into the next one. So this one is very, very scary to hear. Alright, so somebody asked, I don't know if this will be a spoiler if you answer this or not, but will there be determinate deaths this season? So far there has only been deaths that you couldn't prevent, so I'm just wondering. Now we got a response. There are some determinate deaths this season. We actually follow a strict rule of if a player causes this death, it can only be caused by the player. Avoiding any deaths that happen later if a player chose to avoid that death earlier. Sarah, Nick, and Pete from Season 2. Alright, so what does this mean? It means you are going to be the reason people die. Now, you can probably save everybody, or maybe a good amount of people. There will probably still be some deaths that you can't prevent, obviously. It happens sometimes. So, in my personal opinion, this is so scary, because every choice is going to matter, because it's the last season, and, you know, like, Clementine can die. Possibly even AJ. Everybody could die here. You don't even know. I'm so hyped for this game. I'm so sad it's gonna be a longer release. Gonna have to wait a bit longer, but it's totally worth the wait. So let me know, guys. Does this scare you or not? I'm actually terrified about reading this, knowing that there are some deaths that can happen, which means it's most likely Violet, Clem, AJ, or any of the main people. Okay, let's get into the next one though. So this question was, hey, thank you so much for saving The Walking Dead. I can't express how grateful I am. Was there any major or even minor character who was scrapped before the game released? Did it alter the story in any way? Alright, now Ian responds, and this is very game changing. The game could have been so much more different. To get the story right for Clem, Season 4 went through multiple drafts in stages. We did have to let go of several characters so that Clem could grow more. Alright, so what this means is there were supposed to be other characters besides Lily. There could have been somebody else instead of her, like someone as Krista, but then it creates maybe a conflict of, you know her and she wouldn't want to hurt Clem. Lily does know her, of course, but I believe Lily's a different person from that, as she kind of left them behind, or she shot Carly and left her behind, whatever. But so that means what I'm pretty sure he's insinuating here is that there were other characters that were scrapped, such as, like maybe even Kenny, if you did the ending where you'd stay at Wellington. You never know what happens to him. So it's kind of crazy to know that there were other characters, but they finally decided to go with Lily instead. I think it was a good choice. I didn't really care for Krista myself, neither did I really with Lily, so I think it's kind of cool. What do you guys think about this one? Okay guys, this is the last one of the day I'm going to be talking about. I will upload more tomorrow if we get more. I will also tweet about the rest of them, so make sure to follow me on Twitter at Weeglez, Weeglez, same as my YouTube. Alright, so the last one here is, when will the games be back up for sale? So some people didn't buy the games yet, and because of the whole shutting down, a lot more people learned about the game, and a lot more people watched it and actually want to play it and buy it, right? So they're saying the end of October, so around Halloween, maybe even a little bit before that, you guys should be able to buy it again. I already own it for my Xbox One, so I'm going to be buying it on my Switch and Steam to support the creators, as I absolutely love this game. You guys should do the same. They also plan on dropping merchandise. They plan on doing a lot more things. They're even talking about slightly, possibly even DLC after the game to make more money for it, as this is costing them a lot of money. It's not just for the money. They didn't say that exactly. That's just what I'm indicating on it. So what this means is that there's going to be a lot more for the game, and I think the game's in very good hands. I think like they're going for a lot. They're getting some old workers back, including Kent Mundell, who is answering these questions here. So yeah guys, that's everything. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure to share it. That's really basically all it, guys. I will link the whole thing down. I think they're going to be answering more questions. I don't know if it's over. It's probably over by the time this video is uploaded. It isn't over as of now, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like this, and sorry for my editing skills and my VO skills.